Welcome back to Invest Global. Today we're continuing on with our Launchpad ecosystem series. We talked about Avalanche at the beginning within the Avalanche ecosystem. Then we talked about MoonEdge, the first ever actual IDO Launchpad on Polygon, obviously the layer 2 scaling solution for Ethereum, formerly known as Matic. The token is still the Matic token, but that was kind of the first one. Now there's also PolyStarter, so I did want to actually share this one. There is some very interesting thing that's going on here. It's a very early stage project. You have to understand that. Number one, always with any product that I talk about on this channel, do your own research. Link for that video down below, basically talking about how you look at on-chain analysis, fundamental, technical, and sentimental analysis, combine them all together, and then form your own opinion, kind of using thesis, antithesis, synthesis. So we're going to be talking about their medium, what they've talked about as far as their vesting schedule goes, tokenomics, things like their actual IDO selection, so their framework as far as that goes. The POLR token, the POLR token, is extremely early stage. I personally would not, obviously not financial advice, but I would not say pick it up when it's this small of a market cap. Like, this is too small of a market cap, in my opinion. You can kind of decide at your own risk, right? But you can see here that one of the things that I saw, which was a little bit strange, and we'll kick it off here with their website, but on their CoinGecko, if you click this Twitter button, what pops up is there's two different Twitters. So their site pulls up one. One of them is not followed by anyone. I'm typically following all the top projects. The other one, so this one actually leads you to the correct website, their official website, right? So PolyStarter.net. Now this one, and the strange thing is this one takes you to a website that has a not secure error on there, just from a website design perspective. You know, I've worked with companies on website designs in the past, and that's a very simple thing with setting up like your DNS records and your SSL certificate. If you click this polystarter.com, you see right here this not secure button. So if anyone from PolyStarter or Polygon or really just an Ethereum developer is watching this, let me know what is going on here. This site is promoted on this Twitter, and the thing is this Twitter is followed by Avalanche, it's followed by Polygon, and it's followed by the Martini guy, which is just like some influencer guy in the UK who's kind of funny, but very, very strange. So I will be using the polystarter.net. This is a site that is, in my opinion, official, but again, be very, very careful with a new stage project like this because there are these discrepancies and you might not know exactly what's going on. But overall, I like to look at it just from like an education standpoint because, 10 years from now, I want to identify this now. That's why I always recommend, clicking the notification bell on our channel. Obviously, subscribe, but when you hit the notification bell, click all, because these are projects that are actually time sensitive. You need to understand this information as fast as possible, and not a lot of other people are talking about the launch pads. But yeah, this whole series is based on, we're going through all the Launchpad ecosystems. I have a playlist. You can watch kind of our updates throughout when we go through this ecosystem where, like I said, we talked about Avalanche. We're talking now about Polygon. We'll talk about Ethereum, Polygon Ecosystem, things like, why am I trying to blank, Neo, Cardano, basically any ecosystem that is, I think is quality, that has launch pads on it. So basically allowing you to get into IDOs early. But enough ranting over. I apologize if that intro may have been a bit long, but that's why I have timestamps. Let's hop into their website here. So PolyStarter is a fully decentralized project accelerator for Polygon. Basically, you can think about launch pads, accelerators, and incubators, all kind of similar, right? So there are some different things there, right? So accelerators, basically what happens is a project works with them. They say, hey, we're going to launch on this IDO, but what PolyStarter might do is we're going to help you out with marketing. We're going to help you out with getting the right developers, auditing your white paper, whatever the new project is that is going to be on the Launchpad. That way that we can actually trust in you. TrustSwap has done a great job with this. DuckDuckDime has done a great job with this. DuckDuckDime is a bit more of like an incubator. They focus much more on that side. PokerStarter's done a great job with this. Those are the ones that I really, really like, and I got in early on. But I'm always looking at what is going to be the next kind of hot Launchpad for long-term perspective, because I have a very long-term perspective on this market. So let's move down here. So initiate innovative projects. They want to incubate and launch quality, fresh, and innovative projects. Yeah, that's what pretty much everyone says. So initial DEX offerings that can maximize the value of gains we provide to our investors and community members. So the pre-launch raising, we can see that here. We facilitate projects to increase funds until they have a contract that can be deployed. So that's pretty awesome. That's kind of their pre-launch raising. They have their POLR accelerator. So that's why I'm saying, like, you can see it's an accelerator, kind of an incubator, and a launch pad, right? So then you have screened listings. We'll talk about their Medium article on how they actually screen their listings, what's the IDO process, and then bootstrap liquidity. So all projects launching on PolyStarter will have a locked liquidity for a set period of time. We will assist projects in liquidity hunting. So why would you choose this over another Launchpad? Now, by the way, none of these Launchpad series are sponsored at all. I always make sure to tell you guys if it's a sponsored video, but none of these are sponsored. I'm just looking at this objectively, and I think it's interesting because I'm curious about it. So I'm like, hey, why not do this series on it, right? But on this channel, we don't just talk about crypto. We don't just talk about blockchain. We talk about things like emerging markets. Currently here in Batumi, Georgia, on the Black Sea, very interesting real estate opportunities. We talk about offshore bank accounts, stocks, bonds, whatever equities, really global equities in general. And my kind of current favorite things though are emerging markets and in blockchain. Whatever market that I'm currently based in, I'm always working online, and then when I'm done, I'm out in the market, actually boots on the ground, looking at what are the opportunities in that market. But I think merging the blockchain space with emerging markets can be really, really powerful. So that's what this channel is all about. Choose the right package for you. So you can see these are the different levels. So this is quite interesting. I mean, you see this POLR token is so early stage. So $1.15. And the first stage is 100. Wow. This is kind of interesting, right? So because a lot of these other ones, right, it's such a big barrier to entry. I think one of the ones we were talking about was CardStarter the other day, and it's like $2,000 for an allocation. You only have 10%. It's a lottery type of allocation versus here. This is different. This is not, or actually, no, this actually is a lottery. Sorry about that. I just saw that there. It's in tiny writing. I wish that they had that a little bit different. But and some other ones, like I'm pretty sure MoonEdge, from what I remember, you can go watch the video, but it's not a lottery. Some of them have guaranteed allocations versus a lottery style. If you see here, for a guaranteed allocation, you would need 1,000 POLR. So that's looking around $1,000, but still, that's a lot more compelling, in my opinion, than something like currently Ducked Out Dime, where it's around like $10,000 to $20,000 just to participate, if I remember correctly. Especially even since this token is retraced, you can even imagine what it was when it was back up really high. But all of these different projects essentially have different pool allocations. And then if they do a lottery versus guaranteed, you have to always keep those things in mind. So that's basically what this series is about, is kind of breaking those things down. And you can always check out the timestamps in these videos to show you that. We'll get to this article here in a second on tokenomics, but you can see bronze, 100 polar, silver, 400. So you have 6 days, 6 days, a lottery 10%, 40% here. All this first stage is 1x. Here you can see this is the first guaranteed allocation. So yeah, that's around $1,000. Then for a 3x weight to a 6x weight, you need 3,000. For emerald and for ruby, you have 6,000. Pearl and diamond. Diamond is obviously partners, influencers, and teams. And pearl here is 15,000 tokens. So these are the investors. AW3 Labs, Propeller, Owl Ventures. Interesting. Okay, so this is a roadmap here. I'll touch on this quick, then we'll move on to their Medium articles. We'll cover this as well. But let's see, Q2, PolyStarter token generation event, Polar distribution, marketing, development, product IDOs, so initial DEX offerings, collaborations, anti-scam features, and private pools. Q4, the anti-scam feature is the most important thing in my opinion. Polar app, Polar swap, and dual chain system. So you can see, guys, this is still very early stage. Poly Mint and a launch of PolyStarter version 2 in 2022. So that's pretty awesome. Token allocation stages. So let's see, what is that? 17% to partnership and community. Pre-sale is about 5 million polar. Quick swap listing is 500,000 polar. Ecosystem is 13%. I wish that these percentages were a little bit larger in the font, but 1,300,000 polar, and then the team gets the team has a fairly large allocation. So that's always interesting to look out for. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but it's just interesting to look at how each project does it. I'd like to look at it objectively, right? So 1,500,000 polar tokens, 15% there. Wow. So so you can, if you're building a product and you're like, hey, I want to build on Polar, I would definitely fill out an application here. I was actually talking with this guy in Tbilisi, Georgia, when I was there, and he was trying to build this product, Desert Finance. And I think for him, a good opportunity, maybe I'll actually send this to him. He was launching on Binance Smart Chain, but I think reaching out to a quality Launchpad where they vet your project, they make sure that you got kind of all your T's crossed and your I's dotted. You kind of, you're watching your P's and Q's there, right? You have the right things set up and you launch strategically versus just doing like a listing where I think, he kind of had some issues when he tried to launch a Desert Finance, but check out his project, Desert Finance. You can follow him on Twitter. So moving on here to their actual tokenomics, we talked about here. So pre-sale, all these different things. We already talked about that. Sorry. So the pool weight details, we showed you in those different things, all the different pool weights you have. So you can see that there. But these are the main ones that I want to talk about, and we'll actually get into these articles. So the vesting schedule, you can see here the TGA token, the token governance event, 15% was already released on the 4th week of May. And then first vesting unlock, 15% that was already released, 4th week of June. Or wait a second. Oh yeah, I guess May, it was just very, very recently released. Second vesting unlock, 20% released. Fortnite, 10%, 4th week of July. So that'll be coming up here in the next month. Fortnite, I'm not sure exactly what that means, to be quite honest with you. 10%. Let me know in the comments if you know. Maybe I'm just completely missing something. Second week of August, third vesting 20%. Fourth week of August, second week of September. So all these are about the same. So it goes 10%, 10%, 20%, 20%, 30% here in fourth week of September, and then second week of August, 15%, 50% there. Let's see here. So this is how they actually screen the projects. I'm going to run through this real quick. I don't want to make this video too awful long, but besides this, we're going to just show you kind of their POLR token in a little bit more detail, although it is very early stage, so be careful. Screening panel. So the PolyStarter IDO application process is overseen by our screening panel, which consists of the team, community members, members of an advisory board, leading industry experts who provide their own touch of decentralization, transparency, legality, the whole selection process. As we continuously grow, adapt, the selection process is put in a fair, equitable way such that each IDO application is reviewed thoroughly and both organizations can work in synergy and habituate organic growth. So this is quite interesting. This is how they actually do their stages of a screening. So that it's their IEAAV methodology. So they have initiation. I'm not. You guys can go read this yourself, right? And maybe I'll kind of skim through these. Examination. They're looking at potential IDOs. Assessment, so maybe they give them like a score here, analysis here, so then they go and this is where they give them that POLR score. That's what I was looking at before I recorded this video. And there has to be at least 3/4 of a vote. So that's a beautiful thing about decentralized organization is you have governance, right? So you have a decentralized vote, and that's true like democracy, right? So and then validation. Then they kind of like incubate their user interface and UX. So pointers we touch, open application, the OA, content, marketing. This is kind of in the basically incubation process, right? So community engagement, things like Twitter, right? Things like their Medium, their Telegram group, Tokenomics. Speaking of Telegram group, I mean, you can go check out their Telegram group here. Right here, or wait, did they not have it on here? Oh, yeah, that's where it is, on their CoinGecko, which again, I'll have this listed down below in the description, but join our Telegram group as well if you're curious about kind of furthering the discussion on like what I personally think or what other members of the Invest Global community think about PolyStarter or any other launchpads we cover in the series. So Tokenomics here, what is going on as far as that goes. So obviously they have their own like POLR Tokenomics, but then the products that are being launched on here, that's what we're going through right now is what they help them with. The roadmap, the development, the progress, pragmatic approach, the team direction. This is their actual POLR score. All these different things you see, like out of these things, what's the weight, and then comments on that. So that's pretty awesome. So I'm not going to get too into detail there, but you guys get it. So that's basically all for this video. We will talk about here, wrap it up with the POLR token. 896 people watch this. So when you talk about community engagement, that's an important thing. I would add it to your watch list. Right around $1.15 currently, up about 30% on the daily. It's over the 24-hour time frame. I mean, it is doing nice, but you look at what it's done since June, and it's dumped a decent amount. What, $10.22 were kind of all-time highs. Now we're back around $1.15. All-time lows were around like 69 cents. So interesting. Market cap rank 1,578. So again, be careful with this. But again, I'm actually kind of interested in this. I'd be, if you want to talk about it, further conversation in the Telegram group, but trading volume is extremely low, but you have to understand that, high risk, high reward, guys, right? So keep that in mind with all this. Again, do your own research. That's all for this video. If you enjoyed it, leave me a like down below. If you didn't enjoy it, dislike the video, comment why you're mad at me. I'm always open for constructive criticism. I can't hate while I'm here with a beautiful view on the Black Sea. You guys can't see, like I have kind of this is called Heroes Row. This like building area behind me. I might do a real estate video here on the Black Sea, and kind of like opportunities here. But right across is the Black Sea. So I'm looking at the Black Sea. So if you're mad at me, I can completely understand it. I'm always, like I said, I'm always looking to improve these videos. I'm always looking to better how I record these. Obviously, like if you're talking about like video quality and sound quality, hey, some of these things, if I was in one location and had like a studio, maybe I could have the best quality, but I'm kind of more nomadic. I'm someone who's always looking at different markets to invest in. And so I hope you get my point there. that's all for this video. Again, just to recap, like, subscribe, button all. Leave me a comment down below. Join the Telegram group. Follow them on Twitter. Follow both of them. Hey, I did. So at PolyStarter and at OX PolyStarter. Maybe this is the official one. I honestly don't know. But again, when you go to their website, one shows the one. When you go to their CoinGecko, one shows the other. So it's a little bit strange. I'll have both of them linked down below in the description. That's all for this one. Again, invest global, and until next time.